Hey guys, Marsegid here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I wanted to have a quick look back. I know the Heroes celebration is, I guess, technically over, right? But I mean, I think the banner is still up, isn't it? I haven't done a video on the TEQ Super Saiyan 4 Broly, and I really wanted to, because after the race that I did with Goresh, where we used the units from the banner of the year that Broly came out, I remember that, like, I feel like he's a bit underrated. He has some awkward restrictions, I guess, which kind of dictate how you're going to build, like, the Heroes team that you would want to run him on. But I feel like he is actually a lot better than people think he is. I've seen some turns where he can do some absolutely insane numbers in terms of damage. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to take him into an event and check him out here. I did not expect us to just one turn Gamma 1 though, so that's the thing that happened. So yeah, with the Limit Breaker Broly, we're going to have all of our links active. This guy, I mean, first of all, the sticker effect is pretty cool because he has the Ki Blasts and the Aura. I think that's pretty cool. Now, he's greatly raising attack and raising defense for one turn. Immense damage to the enemy, greatly lowers defense. So each additional he gets, his attack jumps up. He gets attack and defense 150 when performing a super. Key 2 and launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super when there's another giant 8-power ally in the same turn. That in and of itself, very easy restriction, especially for some of the units on the current Heroes team that are so good. He then gets an additional super, guaranteed when all allies in the same turn are giant 8-power. So he has to have a full Super Saiyan 4 rotation, but then he gets another guaranteed additional super, which is pretty good. And then he gets additional attack and defense 30% with each super performed up to 150. So he has to perform 5 supers in order to be fully built up. But I mean, considering on a full giant 8-power rotation, if we get the good RNG for the first one from his passive, he can super 4 times in one turn. And remember, he's greatly raising his attack on each of those supers as well. So this is what I didn't want to happen, because 260 is actually not that bad, I guess. Alright, so let's see what Broly is going to do here. All of his links active, but no support. Let's see what we're getting. Yeah, 6.1 on the first super. So, I mean, it's nothing, like, insane. But remember, he's building up in his passive with each super that we get. So, goes up to 7.3 on the second one. That was the first one from his passive that had a chance to be a normal. So now he gets a guaranteed additional super from the full giant 8-power rotation. So now we're up to, what was that, 8.3? And then we didn't get the hidden potential, sadly. So, although I guess a bit of a shame considering I know it is type disadvantage, but him still taking damage from the normals is probably a little bit disappointing. But I should have jumped into a different event, because we're going to have to go into a different event anyway, because this one's going to be over in... well, let's be honest, it's going to be over this turn, isn't it? So we'll probably have to jump into another event after this as well, because I thought it'd be kind of fun to see him against the multiple, like the Gamma 1 and 2 at the end, especially because he has type advantage over Gamma 2. I think he could potentially one-turn Gamma 2, but I forgot, of course, that Vegito is just absolutely the big hero's daddy and just destroys everything in his path, even without having him linked up with Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. This man is just an absolute damage train. So, but we floated off Vegito on the first turn so that we could get this rotation. Now, unfortunately, I do have to worry about Gohan here, because if Gohan takes an immediate super from Gamma 2, I will just die, which is not great. In fact, this whole starting rotation is actually really not good. We're going to jump into another thing anyway. You know what? We'll just do this. I just want to see Broly's damage more than anything. So, with Vegito, we're only missing Brutal Beatdown and Nightmare. He starts with 224. Now, considering he basically gets all of his defense on super, apart from what he builds up from this lower part of his passive, that's pretty good, because he's going to get 150% on super, and then each one of his super attacks raises defense for the turn. So that's not bad. So we'll do this, and then yeah, we'll get Broly to go after Gamma 2 here, and then we'll just do this. So let's see how we go. Because Gohan has his own damage reduction, so now with the Whis active, we should be fine. And they didn't get supered anyway. Could still get supered by Gamma 1, though, I suppose. Okay. Right, so 11.4 is now his first super of the turn. Okay. Sadly, we only get the normal from the first part of the passive, but then we get the guaranteed additional from the ape allies, so 13 million. Hidden potential? Hey, let's go. 15.2. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is now his passive is fully built up. So if we were to have another turn, of course. Oh, the dodge! Let's go! You love to see it. Okay, so if we were to get another turn, because his passive is now fully built up, that means that we're going to be rocking a much higher attack stat on the first super, and then the supers after that are going to be hitting some pretty nutty numbers as well. I guess what I'll do here is I won't use the active skill for Vegito, because then we might actually get another turn. But, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. Right, Limit Breaker Broly actually has, as much as we don't like Limit Breaker Broly, overall for his design, he has higher defense start of turn than the Limit Breaker Goku. That's crazy. I mean, Goku does get a lot of stats on Super and raise defense on his Super Attack effect, whereas Broly carries over defense because his Super Attack effect is that he raises defense for 4 turns. But yeah, pretty good. I built my Broly as a full mix of additional and crit because he's just there to do damage. He's kind of, I feel like he's one of those units that because he is there to be a monster damage dealer, you just go all in on his strengths. Because if you give him a full dodge build, he's going to get like, what, 15 to 20 to 25, depending on how crazy you go with the skill orbs. But then you're just relying on that. Say, let's say he has 20 dodge, a 20% chance to dodge. But then you've almost completely nerfed his ability to do like crazy damage. So, yeah, of course. I mean, I could put Gohan in slot 1 and not super, I guess. Let's do that. And we'll do this to make sure Gohan doesn't die. Just because, again, all I really want to see here is Broly's attack numbers. So this is without the support from Vegito. And he has the same link set as previously with the physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito in slot 3. Yeah, see, we would have been dead here. Alright, well. What's Broly going to give us on the 8.4? So that's without any support, his first super's 8.4, which is not bad. I think it's the fact that, like, with the full ape allies, he is obviously going to be getting a guaranteed additional super. And then there's that part of his passive, which is going to be the 50-50 shot, right? But the fact that it jumps up so much with each super attack is very, very good. So we'll jump into another event so we can see some extra turns of him. Right, so we jumped into Red Zone Broly here. The funny thing is that, like, Vegito, Limit Breaker Vegito is just so powerful. And obviously, because you want to run Broly with a full giant 8-power rotation so he gets his full passive, you're not going to be not running, like, the Vegito lead version of the team. But, like, Vegito, Broly wasn't on the first turn, so Vegito literally just did 2 supers that both crit and killed the STR Broly. So that is kind of a problem with Broly being a unit that wants to build up, because if you've got, like, you know, even if you're running him on main rotation, which I feel like if you were going to run him on the Heroes team with a bunch of Super Saiyan 4s, you could probably have some pretty decent results using him as a 3rd slot floater, as long as he's not the one that eats a super. But the problem is, if you did that, there's probably a lot of events where if he's in slot 3, and let's say the rotation was, like, you know, Limit Breaker Vegito and then the normal Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, in a lot of events, like, Broly's not even going to get to attack because the 2 Vegitos are just going to kill the enemy. So it's kind of a thing where he almost suffers from, he has to be run on a team that is already so ridiculously powerful because of the Vegitos that he's not going to get a chance to build up to his full potential, which is interesting. Because, yeah, like here, for example, there's no way that we finish this turn without killing him. Like, right? There's just no way, especially because we have 2 int units as well. But, I mean, it doesn't even matter because Vegito will probably just crit. And then, of course, the interesting thing is because we're doing the Red Zone Broly, we're not going to be in a good place for taking AoEs, which I suppose is the other huge issue with this TEQ Broly. I think it's one of the reasons why people saw his EZA details and decided they didn't like him, because it's kind of the same thing with like 21 coming out now and stuff. Any unit that gets their defense on super will not be good against AoE enemies. And so now it seems like whenever a unit comes out like that, whether it's a unit or an EZA, people just immediately assume that they're bad, or they just don't like them because they're not good against AoEs, which, I mean, the hardest bosses in the game now are all getting AoEs, so it's not like a completely invalid criticism, but I mean, for me, it's like, if a unit's not good against AoEs, you just don't use them against an AoE boss, or you use an item. Doesn't mean that the unit is necessarily bad, but it is what it is. So ideally he doesn't super here slot 1, and then Broly should be okay. So, but we'll see, because if he super slot 1, we just die, especially if Vegito doesn't counter. But you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, remember when Red Solo Broly was hard? It's like, is there any way I can't kill him in one turn? Yeah. Right, so we're starting off at 10 mil now, which is pretty decent. Only get the additional normal though, sadly. And then we got up to 12. I think it's the problem. He has, I guess, a similar issue to like the LR Ultimate Gohan, right? Where his passive stat build is only from him doing supers. But we did get the hidden potential one as well. So we're up to 14 million. So pretty good. I wonder how well he would tank a super now. Oh, apparently Broly is very kindly going to wait for Vegito to super as well. Although I think with the type disadvantage, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito probably dies to the Broly AoE if he doesn't counter it anyway. Although if he crits here, I think he just kills him. We're actually just annihilating this Red Zone Broly. It's so funny. Because, yeah, obviously when he came out, the game was very different, and he absolutely was the hardest event in the game. But, like, yeah, this is pretty funny. I mean, I don't even need to bother. I don't even need to attack. Like, I do this. I'll get some, build up the Dokkan gauge a little bit. And then I'll just do this. I'm glad he survived, though, because now we get to see TEQ Broly against the AGL Broly, which is what I want. And we get the rotation where we have our full link set active for Broly. So, I didn't show it. I did mention it at the beginning. I always forget to show the hidden potential. People in the comments keep getting mad at me. So 17 additional, 18 crit, and then he's just got 3 dodge. So in that earlier run, where he dodged a super and then dodged another attack straight afterwards, that was 2 level 3 dodges back to back. But yeah, I gave him additional and crit because obviously want to maximize his damage output. I even gave him the level 7 attack skill orb. So my boy Broly here is all about the damage. So let's do this. I mean, if Gohan gets supered in slot 1, does he actually live a super from Broly? I don't think he does, which is unfortunate. Do I just use an item here again to make sure he survives? I really want to see Broly tank Broly, though. But it's just unfortunate because, like I say, normally I would have kept the Vegito on rotation and I'd run Vegito in slot 1, Broly in slot 2. But then, you know, in the early phases, Vegito just kills all the enemies and you can't do anything. Is Gohan going to get killed here? What is his damage reduction? It's 50%, right? Yeah. So if Broly super attacks, Broly does like 1,000,000 damage. So 50% off of that. I mean, we probably would still live. Now, let's see what happens. Of course, he's supering straight away. Don't even get a moment's like respite here. Does Gohan instantly die to this? No. And then he takes normals for double digits. Okay, that's fine. Alright, good. So, now let's see what Broly can do here. No support, but his full link set active. And let's see what we got. So he starts off at basically 10 mil for the first super. Get that additional normal again. Really want the quad super turn here, but it goes up to 10. And now he's getting... So he only supered twice. So his defense is what? like 100 and... Wait, no, he got the 140%. So he's got like 500k or something. So 220k, I guess, is not terrible, even though he does have type advantage. But yeah, I don't know. You let me know what you guys think down below. I think BROLY is pretty good. I just think he is awkwardly designed for the current sort of situation. Because like I say, if you want to run him, even if you want to run him on main rotation, you're going to be running him next to Vegito, most likely, because Vegito is the best slot 1 unit for this kind of team build. And then you're just going to get into a lot of instances where BROLY doesn't actually get to attack, which is kind of awkward. So, you know, when he has the potential to be good, he's pretty good. I think it's very unfortunate they locked him having a guaranteed super behind a full Giant 8 rotation, because I could see some situations where he could be fun on Rosé's team, but because he actually shares like 5 links with Rosé, but then Rosé isn't a Giant 8 power unit, so he's not going to be getting that guaranteed additional super. But, I mean, he could still work in that situation, I suppose, but you're going to get those turns potentially where he does a super, then that first part of his passive you just get a normal, and then you don't get the hidden potential and that's it. And so because he needs to super 5 times to fully build up his passive, if he's only getting 1 super every turn, he's just really not going to look that impressive. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think TEQ BROLY is decent? Do you think he's underrated? Let me know all your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ingen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.